Back in 2019, Google promised a revolution. They unveiled Stadia, a cloud gaming platform that would let you play AAA titles in any device with a screen and an internet connection. No consoles, no downloads, just pure instant gaming bliss. But 3 years later, Stadia shut down, leaving a trail of broken promises as well as unanswered questions. What went wrong with this ambitious project? Let's dive into the rise and fall of Google Stadia.
In addition to partnering with developers big and small, I'm also thrilled to announce that today we are forming Stadia Games and Entertainment.
Now, Google had the resources. Their data centers were legendary and their Chrome browser was ubiquitous. According to the company, Stadia would leverage this infrastructure to render games in the cloud and stream them directly to your device. No more expensive consoles gathering dust, no more waiting for downloads. It was a feature where you could jump into Cyberpunk on your lunch break, stream directly into your phone. As someone who grew up with gaming systems like the Game Boy and Super Nintendo, I was pretty skeptical about Google's promises of a cloud-based gaming future. After all, factors such as game ownership and monthly subscription fees were something to consider, but eventually I approached it with an open mind, interested in what Google had to offer. It was very obvious that Google invested a lot of resources in development for Stadia, even turning to veterans from the gaming industry for a bit of assistance. Phil Harrison was appointed as product manager for Stadia, which was a rather interesting decision from Google, especially considering his somewhat colorful history with other major gaming brands, including PlayStation and Xbox. Nevertheless, Stadia did launch with a decent game library with games like Destiny 2 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The tech was impressive as well, and I actually liked the bundled controller, which for the most part had great build quality. Games ran smoothly, even on low-end devices. We actually have a number of earlier videos here on the channel showing a bit of gameplay on Stadia, which you could check out in case you're curious. With that said, all seemed so promising for Google, but cracks began to show. From the get-go, Stadia had a bare-bones feature set. Stuff like achievements and a robust online community, which were staples of modern gaming, were absent. The pricing was confusing, with some games requiring a separate purchase on top of the Stadia Pro subscription. Developers likewise echoed these concerns. Google seemed unsure who Stadia was for. Was it a hardcore gamer's dream or a casual pick-up-and-play option? This kind of fence-sitting alienated both audiences. Personally, I liked that I could play AAA games with a simple internet connection, and this was actually the first time that I was able to play games like Doom Eternal, as I didn't exactly have a high-end gaming PC. It wasn't enough to lure me away fully from my Nintendo Switch though, but it was nice having another platform to play games on, even if it did mean that I had to be online to play them. But again, Stadia was still behind the bigger, more experienced companies in the gaming industry. Google did follow up with more game launches in Stadia, but as time went by, it seemed that the initial hype behind the platform had died down significantly. At this point, Google's priorities had shifted, and Stadia was no longer the industry changer that the company initially made it out to be. In February of 2021, a bombshell dropped. Google announced the closure of its in-house Stadia game studios, which was led by industry veteran Jade Raymond. It was supposed to develop exclusive titles that would draw gamers to the platform, although this didn't exactly come to fruition. This lack of exclusives proved to be a major blow. Gamers switched over to competing platforms like Microsoft's Xbox Cloud Gaming Service, which offered both exclusive games as well as a larger selection of titles. Stadia became somewhat of an empty box, a powerful engine with nowhere to go. Admittedly, I was a bit let down by Stadia just seemingly floating around existing, but not actively doing anything groundbreaking to build on the early promises made by Google. I still continue to play every now and then, however, although that would end soon. In January of 2023, it finally happened. Following several rumors that Stadia was coming to an end, Google announced that it would soon be shutting down the platform, despite earlier statements that Stadia would continue to be supported. For a lot of players who invested a considerable amount of time and money into Stadia, this was certainly a frustrating development and a far cry from the initial hype and fanfare that Google created around its launch. Users were given until January 18th to access their libraries before the servers went dark, refunds were issued, but the disappointment stayed on. It also further cemented this image of Google as a company that's too quick to shut down unsuccessful projects without first trying to figure out how to improve on them. As a result, Stadia would join several other dead projects in the infamous Google graveyard. Stadia's legacy is a cautionary tale. It showcased the potential of cloud gaming, but also highlighted the importance of a clear vision, developer support, and most importantly, killer games. While Stadia might be gone, its impact can't be ignored. It pushed the boundaries of what's possible in gaming, and perhaps, in the future, its core technology will find a new life. Alright guys, so that does it for this quick retrospective on Google Stadia. Let me know your thoughts about the platform in the comments below. Were you one of the people who invested into Google's gaming platform? Don't forget to check out our other content here on TeamVRY. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.